That was so lovely. Hello, 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 everybody.
Hello.
We are so excited to be here. I'm here with a very special, special guest. Jenny, I'm going to introduce you in just a few moments. Just want to just invite everyone to share and invite others to this live. This is CCM Live, so go ahead and share and invite. And as always, beloveds, grab your cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever. Yeah, Jenny. And we're going to have some really great, rich conversation. We're so excited today. We are home for the holiday, and we want to talk to you about what it feels like, what it is like to be home, literally home for the holiday, right? And so we want you to go ahead, invite a couple others in. We've got some special giveaways for you today. We're in the giving, we just feel like we want to give some things away. So we're going to give things away to those of you who share and invite. So go ahead and share this link, CCM Live, share it. And then once you've shared it, go ahead and tell us that you shared it. Now, some of you are watching us on YouTube, right? You're not on Facebook, you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, if you want to engage in any of the prizes and activities, you need to come on over to Facebook Live so that you can get your information in the comments and we can count you. And we are going to give away some special prizes, so you don't want to miss it. Okay. So I want to just welcome my very, very, very special guest who is in the studio live with us, Jenni Chavis, Esquire. Jenny, I'm so excited. Welcome to CCM Live.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. This is so cozy and fun.
Yay! Well, we are going to have fun. CCM is all about fun. We are absolutely the place to get started. So, top of the morning to all of you as you start your Saturday morning. Maybe you early birds have already been up, but most of us are just kind of getting up and getting underway. So, we are the place to get started. Jenny, we are going to have some girl talk today. We
Yeah.
talk about, we're going through some, different times, right? We're in a different space. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's see. Why don't you help me have others invite people on to this page? Go ahead and help.
Sure. I think this is a great time for, like you said, girls getting together. Anyone, it doesn't have to just be girls, but to chat and to talk about the holidays and what it means to be home. And a lot of times I think during this year we've missed that human touch because we are sort of on this lockdown kind of status. But this is a great way to connect, to talk. To interact with each other. It is not the way we normally do. Of course, we would love to be in each other's living rooms with our coffee or with cookies, for the
Yeah.
holiday. But this is good because we're going to some fun and we're going to talk about some good stuff. So I'm excited. So make sure you tell everyone to come on in, and it's just a respite. This is a little breather of a moment.
Yes. We're going to take some time to breathe, have our coffee, tea, and chat. So I want to give us an opportunity to really formally meet Jenny, right? Some of you may know her, but others, you are just being introduced to Jenny. So, Jenny, I would love if you would just tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about your journey, and whatever it is that you want us to know about you right now.
Sure. So I usually lead with the fact that I'm a Harrisburg kid, born and raised. I am from the city of Harrisburg and a graduate of John Harris High School. Go Cougars! So I love being from Harrisburg. I love being a Pennsylvanian. And then after I graduated from high school, I went off to college in Hampton University, HU, woo woo. And then after that, I came home for a year. I took a year off. I didn't even realize a gap year was a thing back then, when I graduated from college. And then I went to law school in Chicago, another great city.
Woohoo!
Then probably my last year in law school, my mom started to get sick. And, I had the plans of staying in Chicago. I was going to live there and build a career. And I felt, it's really time for me to come home because mom wasn't doing well. So I came home and was able to start working as an attorney in Dauphin County as a prosecutor for, man, 13 years. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that. And then after 13 years, I started working for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as an attorney, and then started my own private practice in
Woo.
2018. And that was probably one of the best decisions that God allowed me to have. I'm so grateful for that part of the journey. I'm a mom. So I have two kids and I have two bonus daughters. So it's a house full of girls at all different ages.
Rock.
Girl, mom. From 27 to 13, married and middle school. So we have every issue that you could possibly imagine, all the good, all the growth, all those wonderful things. And then we just sort of have adopted young adults along the way. We love being able to minister to young adults. And so that's part of our ministry. That's part of what our heart is. My husband and I, we love to have people over. So hospitality is a big part of what we feel our ministry is. It's been difficult not being able to do that in this time, but we have a plan. As soon as we are able to all get together, our plan is to do a weekend long party of every holiday. We're gonna
Hey, I'm there.
one weekend. You can come dressed as Santa Claus or I don't know, a leprechaun or whatever you want to do. Come bring a turkey. Celebrate all holidays in one weekend.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm there. So, hopefully I'm on that invite list, but I'm there if I am. I'm so just, first of all, congratulations to you, for all of your amazing successes. And, at CCM, we like to celebrate people and especially women who are doing great things. So we just really want to pause and say congratulations to you for all of what you've done, and especially this most recent of starting your own private practice.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So let me ask you, we're talking about home for the holidays, and literally you're in private practice now. So you sort of can be home for the holidays as you see fit. Talk to us a little bit about what it's been like for you as you've made the transition from corporate America to literally being in private practice, so you're able to sort of be in your space, because I'm sure that there's some people watching and listening in that may, be in that same space where they're thinking about that. So do you mind telling us a little bit about how it's been for you?
Oh, wow. I love sharing this because I have really started to take on the mission of encouraging people, especially women, to start their own business, especially if you believe that that is something that, God is leading you to do. If you have that still small voice telling you to get out of the boat, I want to encourage you today. This may be your word. This may be your confirmation from God that God's been telling you all year to do it. And you've been, going back and forth. I can't, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't. This is a word for you. At the beginning, it never dawned on me. After being an attorney for 18 years, it never dawned on me to start my own practice, because I thought, well, people like me, we don't start our own firms. That's for other people. And it really was just an indication of where my faith was in God, because I was trying to see myself through my eyes versus through his eyes and his promises. And so it really was saying, okay, Lord, I know that you're going to have to do a work in me to accomplish it, just to get up out of the boat and to walk on the water, right? It wasn't a question of can I do the work, but it was creating this business, being able to sustain business coming in, and to, of course, do quality work in the community that I live and that I love. So that was really important to do. You have to be ready for the risk involved. But if you believe that God has you in every area of your life, he's not going to say, I'm just going to abandon you at this point. There is risk, of course, but that's why we have our faith in God. You have to be ready for the character building. And I'm not sure if a lot of times we hear about that in entrepreneurship or getting out of the boat. That means that God is going to reveal in you areas that you need to work on. And that was a hard part, Dr. Cathy. That was a hard part for me to understand, that the things that I have been avoiding about working on it myself, the forefront. And God said, okay, now I'm glad you're working hard, but let's deal with your spirit. Let's deal with your character. Let's change this area of your life. It's been amazing to see the journey. Like, I can't believe I am where I am, but I'm grateful for it. And so it's freedom. It is exciting to know that every day is different, and that you have a level of control, so to speak, over life. Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that you talked about how you wanted this, and you trusted God and you went for it, but there was this process, right?
Oh,
that
yeah.
that God was making you and molding you, and it didn't feel good all the time, right?
Right.
And moving beyond the fear. That's huge, because I'm sure someone listening, maybe you want to do similarly and you just feel that fear. I hope that Jenni's story, I hope that, it really encourages you to move beyond the fear, trust God, and as he works on the inner parts of who you are, that you'll trust the process, because this here, look, we're seeing the product of allowing God to move. So we're so excited to have you, and we're so excited for what God is doing, and we look forward to just hearing more of your story this morning and beyond. So I want to ask a question. So when we're home for the holidays, and a lot of times, if it weren't COVID, we'd be traveling. Maybe some of us, we'd be going to visit family and friends elsewhere, or we have other people in our homes for the holiday. But since we can't do that, what can we do, to keep from feeling sad during the holiday? What are some things, Jenni, that you do that keep you from feeling, sad about the fact that you can't have, your party like you want to have right now? What are some things that you can share with our audience?
So I think it's really important during the holidays to have tradition, right? And I know that when we grow up, we have certain traditions that we might have. And the difficulty oftentimes will come when we get older, or if we're in a different space, we don't have the exact same traditions we had when we were children. And we think that somehow we've lost something in the holiday. So particularly this year, maybe there's a tradition that we normally do that we can't do because of the pandemic. This is a great time to create a new tradition, because then it is trying something new. It makes us to be a little bit more, it causes us to be a little bit more creative, and then we're able to do something that we've never done before. So if you're able to maintain some of the holiday traditions during this time, that's great. Do that, because that's cozy, it's familiar, we like doing those things. But then be willing to try something new. Be willing to try something new. So because I still have children in the home, they're teenagers, so it's not like, it's a different holiday flavor when you have teenagers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right, when they're texting you their Christmas list, it's a different feel. But then, it's creating a space to say, what special things can we do? So we did there's a place near us, maybe like 10 minutes away. This family, their whole yard, it has to be at least over a block long. They have these Christmas lights, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's like vintage. It is new stuff. You can see it a mile away as you're approaching the house. And we said,
Wow.
"Well, let's just go, I was too afraid to go see it before. So I said, let's just go drive and see it. It's this wonderful family. They take donations for a local charity, and you drive through their property.
Right.
And the kids loved it. We stopped and got hot chocolate and went, and it was a great tradition. We didn't have to worry about putting on masks or social distancing or any type of those concerns, but it was a good family thing just for us to do. And so we
Yeah.
made that our tradition. Like when it gets dark, we'll go driving around to different neighborhoods to look at people's Christmas decorations, and there's some amazing display. One family had they have like a radio station. So when you stop and you look at their house, it says tune to your radio station to this, and it's playing Christmas music as you're looking at their light display.
Oh,
Just
wow.
loved it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, Jenni, thank you so much for that. And I think that this is a season, right, that we are all looking for new ways to engage with our family and our friends. And especially with our family, I think this is a time, I know guilty. I was running before COVID. I mean, I was, on the highway, in the air, flying here and there. And so this has been a really good time just in general for me to engage with my family more. And so for the holidays, as you just said, Jenni, I think it's great if we could find new traditions. And so someone that is watching, maybe we're listening, maybe you've been feeling sad because you feel like you're missing your friends and family that you would normally see, engaging in new traditions, maybe thinking about ways that you can start a new tradition with your family. And if you're single and you live alone, maybe connecting with other people. One of the things that we've been doing, and we want to carry this on through the Christmas season, for the holiday season, is we've been doing a lot of virtual stuff, right? Like, so for Thanksgiving, getting on the computer and, seeing other people, other members of our families and our friends and what they're eating, giving out saying what we're thankful for. And I think we could do that with Christmas, with opening up gifts. Thank God for, the internet, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So,
Good.
go ahead, Jenni.
You said, so at Thanksgiving, there was a lot of almost like a dread buildup. You could sense it, right? Just from the news and everyone saying, please don't, have interaction, stay home, all this and that. And you could feel, at least I did, I could feel, just friends and family really being tense about that.
Yes.
Thanksgiving was going to look like. And so we just decided, okay, we're not going to get together the way we normally do, but we'll do Zoom. It's like, okay, we'll do a Zoom. Dr. Cathy, we ended up having more family get together on Zoom than we would have in person before the pandemic. There were nieces and nephews that I have either never met or haven't seen in decades, right? So because this pandemic, we were actually able to get together. There were cousins who were crying when they saw each other because it had been so long. Shame on us, for going so long. But they lived in different states. They currently live in different states. But it was a blessing to be able to reunite in that. And I think that whatever we do during the holidays, because it's going to be so different, as long as we're looking for the blessing that God has in this moment.
Yes.
If we overlook that, then no matter whether we're in a pandemic or we're in the best time of our life, if we're not looking for the blessing that God has given to us, then we're not going to really enjoy the moment that He has carved out for us.
Wow.
So those nuggets, blessing
I love
nuggets.
that. I love that. We need to look for the blessing. And I absolutely agree with you. We believe here at CCM that the plans of God are staple scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11, and believing that the plan of God towards all of us is to prosper and not to harm us, to give us a future and a hope. And even during this holiday season, when it seems that things are so different, and, there's a lot of sadness. We recognize that, people have lost loved ones and they're struggling to make sense of, why, and, during the holidays and so on and so forth. But I believe that God, even in that, can bring some good out of it as we look to God for how to make sense of things that, to us doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean that we're not going to feel sad. It doesn't mean that we're not going to, long for, right? And wish that things were different. I mean, for those of us, and I raise my hand, for those of us who have lost people during this pandemic, it's been a difficult road to, make sense of it. But we know that, as you said, Jenni, as we look for those blessings from God, as we look for the nuggets that come from God, we can begin even in that to create new traditions. And, the question just popped up on the screen, and we'll put that back up, that some of you have, and that is, how do we deal with grief, right? And loss during this holiday season? How am I expected to deal with this? This is so hard. And again, I want to say, and then Jenni, I'd like to hear from you on this, but I would like to say that just because it's the holiday doesn't mean that you're not going to feel grief and that you're not going to feel loss. And, this is one of those things where it's a both and, right? I always talk about, it's not an either or. It's not you either are happy or you're sad. You can, this is a both and space, right? I'm sad because I lost my loved one, and I am looking for the blessings of God during this time, so that will sustain me and keep me while, I grieve. And so, Jenni, I don't know if you could speak, if you'd like to just take a few minutes to speak to this, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, for our viewers who have grief and loss going on, during this time, what ideas and things can you give them as they process?
Yeah. So, I think grief is the most underestimated emotion that we have, right? I think that we don't really look at the impact that grief can have. This year has been just rife with grief on so many different levels. People have lost so much. And I think that we typically look at grief like, okay, I'm going to cry a bit and then I'll just move on. But really, people I know someone who, lost a child, had a miscarriage this year. I know people who've lost loved ones, and all those different type of things. And when I've tried to encourage them, the one thing I say to them is, do not make any major life decisions during this time when you're going through grief. You might think that you're doing okay, but grief is sort of like this cloud that you have to process through. And that's where the work is, being able to process through the grief during this time. And the one thing that you have to do when it comes to grief and loss is, just like you said, Dr. Cathy, acknowledge that it is there. But here's the thing, it's okay to be grieving. You're not weak if you grieve, you're not less than if you grieve. That is an expression of the fact that you loved someone. If you're grieving, that means you loved that individual. And what a blessing it is that you had someone in your life to love and who loved you.
Yeah.
And so by just being able to manage the expectation, whether it's the holiday or if it's just Monday, the fact that you can at least acknowledge that you have a sadness, that you have grief, but that the expectation is, but I am also going to be able to move through it. I can still enjoy some aspects of my life. And then you can look to see, well, but what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? Where is the balance in my life? That helps to process through the grief just by managing the expectation of the holiday or your day or whatever it might be, and acknowledge that you are having those feelings.
Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. And, as one that, helps people on a regular basis deal with this sort of, heaviness that comes with being in grief, having grief or grieving, it is important to know to normalize it on some extent, right? To normalize the grief that you're feeling, to understand the stages the stage of grief that you're in, and to know that you may go through the various stages, but you're okay. And holidays are triggers, right? For some people, sometimes, and you might be listening and watching and say, I didn't lose anyone this year, but I lost someone 5 years ago. And I still, when it's Christmas time, I still think of them. And we want you to know that when we're talking about being home for the holiday, there's a saying that says home is where the heart is, right? And so we recognize that your heart may be grieving today and through this season, but you can make it. And that's the message that we want to send to you today as you're going through all of the feelings that come with COVID-19 and being, stuck and not being able to do the things that we normally would do, and dealing with grief and dealing with loss. I mean, when COVID-19 first hit, I set up in my home a grief jar. It's just a mason jar. And I put a lid, the lid on the mason jar, and I wrote on the lid grief jar. And I do this with my clients too. Yeah. And we put in the jar anything that we were grieving or that we felt we lost, right? So during that time, my daughter who is now a senior in college, had to come home from college, leave all of her friends behind. Yeah. It was a tough thing for her. And so I was grieving for her sense of loss. And so I wrote on my little slip, we just took little sheets of paper and we would write whatever it is. And I put them in there. And periodically we could go in the jar and pull out whatever it is, right? And look at it. And start to kind of think about it and not feel like we have to stuff it, because that's sometimes what happens. Sometimes, it's the holidays, everybody's happy. So we feel like we have to be happy in this moment. Right. But we don't. We can process the feelings that we have and we are okay. The thing that I would like to say is if you're home and you're alone for the holiday, reach out to someone that you trust and that you care about. And towards the end of this program, we're going to put a number. We will provide prayer and, encouragement to anyone who during this holiday season may find themselves in a space where they are home for the holiday and they are grieving. And so we just invite you to reach out to us for prayer and know that we are here for you, and so that no one has to be completely alone for the holiday. So Jenni, I love what you have to say about these things. And so I want to know, I have another question for you.
Gotcha.
What do we do you mentioned earlier about creating new traditions.
Yeah.
What do we do when we feel like we are alone and we don't know how to do this? Like, what can we do to create new traditions?
Yeah. So, two things. One, I thought it was so powerful what you just said about the grief jar and writing it down. And I think there is something powerful about putting words to what we feel on the inside. When it's inside of us, it feels, at least for me, things feel gigantic and insurmountable. But once I get them out, so I am a big journaler, not daily, I don't daily journal, but I have a book where I put thoughts into. And
Mhm.
so there were just this week, I was just thinking, I was just so fearful about something regarding work, like, oh, I'll never be able to do that. I can't accomplish it. That's all this big giant stuff that was in here. And as soon as I wrote it out and prayed about it, I saw how small it was because I was believing God. Like, God is so much bigger than this thing. And it just put it all into perspective by getting it out. So if you're home alone and you feel that just that space is insurmountable, I really encourage you to write it out. There's something very therapeutic about getting it from the inside out, almost like you're dumping it out of you. And I think that is something that you really should do. And then also something powerful is giving. So one thing
Mhm.
that we did, one tradition I didn't mention, something very new, is that we were prayerful about, okay, how can we bless someone else? And my husband is a phenomenal cook. He is really, really good. And I said, well, I have a great idea. Why don't you fry some fish? And we just identified some people that we just dropped some fish off to their house. And so, of course, the first thought was,
Love it.
right? And so it wasn't everyone. It was like maybe 4 or 5 people that God laid on our heart to just bless them. And I thought, well, man, they may not want it because they think, well, what if we have COVID or they don't want to accept food? And I said, you know what? Even if they took it and threw it in the trash, we're not managing how they accept the gift. We're just going to bless them. If they eat it, we prayed over it, and it's good to go. We're you being safe as we make it and deliver it. God bless them. So it's not about whether they eat it. It's about us not looking to ourselves and wanting to bless someone else. So there are so many ways that we can be a blessing to other people. If we're
Wow.
home or whether you're in a house with 20 people,
Yes. Yes.
cards to people, right? It may seem cheesy or cliche, but just a word of encouragement. You can personalize it with some word of encouragement to another person that perhaps God has laid on your heart. Individuals who may not have anyone sending them a Christmas card. There are some people who don't have that. It is maybe blessing someone with a food gift or an item and having it sent, maybe doing it anonymous, so that way you're not getting a pat on the back for what you did, but you're just able to bless someone else. I don't know what the rule is right now regarding individuals who are in nursing homes, or I don't know what it is, or who are in prison or who are in children's homes. They may not accept things from the outside right now. I don't know. But if you want to do something, I'm sure it's just a phone call to get that information,
Mhm.
how to bless someone else who might not be in a position to be blessed.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Absolutely, absolutely. Holiday giving is one of the best ways to feel better. And I know that somebody might say, I don't have anything to give. We all have something to give. And if you don't think you do before this broadcast is over, you're going to know that you have something to give. I love what you said, Jenni, about reaching out to nursing homes. Our elderly in the nursing homes, I mean, there are many elderly that are in nursing homes who don't have family and friends. Like, I know we sometimes think because, a lot of us have our family, we have our friends, but a lot of people in the nursing homes don't have family or friends. So maybe you can't go in. But one of the things that we did, so my grandmother was recently in a nursing home She had contracted COVID and she went to a nursing home, and we couldn't get in there. But what we did was we sent the e-card. So there's a on your phone, and I can find it and post it on the page for you guys that want to do this. But you could create the card right in the e-platform. They handwrite it so it looks really nice, and they mail it. You just pay for it right then. Ooh. On the electronic format, and they mail the card to wherever. So if you reached out to a nursing home and you got the information for someone, you can just well wish them. You can send pictures of holiday cheer. It might not be of you. Like for my grandma, we sent pictures of us and the kids, and we just showered her with those kinds of cards. And then the staff at the nursing home read the cards to my grandmother. And that, from what I understand, it was meaningful to her, right? They were reading the cards and she could still stay connected to us, even though we couldn't be there. So maybe you have someone that you want to connect to, and they're in a facility and you can't get there, you can do similarly, right? Or maybe it's you don't know the person and you want to bring some love and cheer to someone. That's a really good way to do it. I'm telling you, you can go right on there. And like I said, I'll give you guys the link. And, you pay a couple dollars for the card and the postage, and they do all the legwork. So right from our home, we could connect. And I think that that's really important, Jenni. So thank you so much. And I just want to say, by the way, anytime you and your husband want to do that whole fish thing again, we're okay over here. I'll go ahead and accept that love gift. Fish is one of our favorites. So, but we're just so, looking for ways to give. So holiday giving. Let's see if we can flash that up on the screen again. And I want to say, we want to do a little bit of holiday giving. And so we want to know who has shared this link. So if you are watching and you have come over to the CCN page and you are watching, can you just write in the comment, I shared? Because anyone knows when they hear those words that means we're going to do a little holiday giving. So, woo-hoo! So the first person that we see on our end who says I shared, what we're going to do is we are going to send you a special gift, small special gift. We have something for the ladies and the gents. So please, if you shared, oh, wow, we have ourselves someone who shared. I see Pastor Dwayne. I have your gift. I got a very special gift for you, Pastor. And thank you for sharing. Woohoo! Who else do we have? Who else shared? Cherie. Oh, we have something for you too. I think you might know what it is. So thank you for sharing. Yolanda, we have you. Who else is there? It looks like Gina. Hi, everybody. Thank you for sharing. If you are not in our postable, or you are not local, if you're local to Harrisburg, if you're in the Harrisburg area, please let us know, because we will make arrangements for you to get your gift. Drive, there, or you drive to a location and we will hand it off. Or if you are out of the city or out of the, Harrisburg region, what we need you to do is to fill out our postable, and we will post that on our page. You will just put your address in. That's our electronic electronic address book. Mm-hmm. And we will give you your gift. We will mail it to you. Now, if you said you shared and you don't share your information with us, we can't get your gift. So please make sure you are in our postable. And I know, looking at this, I know, Gina, you're in our postable. Pastor Dwayne is definitely in my postable. Lisa, we have you. Gina, thank you, guys. Please keep sharing, because somebody needs this. Somebody needs to have this kind of fun for the holiday. So we're really, really excited. So Jenni,
yes,
let's raise our cups for another holiday season, home
Yes.
holiday. And let's switch gears a little bit and talk about holiday food. Let's talk about some food that's really good. What do you like? What do you
Oh,
like to eat for the holidays?
so, I mentioned that my husband is a very good cook, but in my house, we have two plant-based people, my daughter, my oldest, and me, and my youngest and my husband are carnivores to the nth degree, right? So we have dietary issues that you think, how in the world do you make that work?
Oh,
So we usually kind of split the table. So one half of the table are plant-based dishes, and the other half are filled with all the meat in the world.
I'm gonna be on that side. I'm just saying.
Pivot over to that side, and that's fine. But everyone's really open and really good, So the meat eaters will take our dishes as their side dishes. They'll enjoy them as their sides, and then my daughter and I will make a big plate of vegetables and whatnot. So the things that we love to do, breakfast is a big deal. We love a good breakfast. And so, just to fire up the griddle and to have pancakes and hot chocolate with, marshmallows, something you got to have a little bit of decadence and indulgence, right?
For
I'm not,
sure.
I'm not saying doing the chocolate chip pancakes every day, but a Saturday morning, oh my goodness, that lazy morning, we really don't have to be anywhere to have a nice fluffy stack of pancakes, I think is a great tradition. Right.
Yes.
We love baking cookies. So we will not, I know my one friend, she does hundreds of cookies. She's not doing it this year, but she will typically bake hundreds of cookies and give them away. God bless her. But my family, we might pick one or two different types, make a few dozen, just a little treat to have around the house. That is always a fun holiday tradition. And so, I talked about doing something new. So, when the kids are younger, we would get the little gingerbread kits, from the store, and we make some raggedy looking gingerbread houses.
Hey, a gingerbread house is a gingerbread house.
I can't do that this year. So I was on Pinterest, and if you're on Pinterest, I think it's great for just sparking inspiration. I saw that someone used Pop Tarts and they made this really fancy fly gingerbread house with like really yummy edible things. So
Mm.
I think we might try that. I think we're going to do it this weekend actually, is try to build a gingerbread house that we could actually then eat and enjoy. So we'll see.
Oh, that sounds so
Yeah.
good.
James, my husband, is from Louisiana. So when you're actually talking about meals, like for sure, he will always brine a turkey. That's any holiday, if Thanksgiving or Christmas. He's going to either deep fry it. In fact, he got real fancy for Thanksgiving. He brined it, smoked it, and then flash fried his turkey. And so,
Okay, you gonna have to help me with that.
and he has every device. He has every possible
Oh,
meat. We have a smoker on our back porch. He has charcoal grills, gas grills, fryer. He has all that kind of craziness, and he
oh
loves
my goodness.
it. So, and then he'll make it doesn't have to be holidays. He'll make a pot of gumbo just because.
I was waiting for that. I'm like,
Oh
come on,
yeah,
where's the gumbo? Because I didn't hear it
oh
yet.
yeah,
And I know that has to
oh,
be.
it's a staple. It's a staple. It was
Yes.
West. One of our adopted young adult daughters was like, "Hey, when's the next time you're making a pot? I'll just do a drive by. Put it in the mailbox. I'll pick it up at to go."
Yeah, we're gonna do the Uber Eats from your place. That's right. We're gonna call and order our gumbo. And for those that are listening and watching, hey, put in the comments, share with us some of your favorite holiday meals. We would love to hear. And guys, if you've got recipes, or like I heard you mention Pinterest, where there's some recipes. If you guys have recipes like Jenni's talking about, and Jenni, we would love to have some of your recipes. Let's put them on the CCM page so that we can all, maybe have a new tradition for the holiday. See,
Yeah.
because if I have a recipe and you have a recipe and we both keep them to ourselves, we each have one. But if we share them, we both have two.
Yep.
So I would love if you guys would tell us. So for those of you who are watching, we'll look for the comments, but let us know what your favorite holiday meals are. Like what kind of foods do you like for the holiday? So everybody that knows me knows that mac and cheese, like baked mac and cheese. I'm talking like, wait, y'all, legit baked mac and cheese. Okay. We're not talking about the kind not that. We're talking about, you talk about decadence. I'm talking about gooey, cheesy, clog your artery-ish. Sorry, y'all. But
So
it's
how
decadence.
many cheeses do you put in your mac and cheese? Like, you like a lot, or you like one good kind?
Oh, listen, I do multiple cheeses. I love cheddar cheese, so I'll do every form of cheddar, like mild cheddar, sharp cheddar. I mean, anything that says cheddar. I love cheddar cheese. I just told someone that the other day. I use mozzarella cheese. I do like to smooth it out. So sometimes I'll put some Velveeta in, and I mix it up. Like, you know how they say you put your foot in it? I'm literally, like, I love it. So I will make baked macaroni and cheese. And generally I make a big, pretty nice sized pan of it. And we usually do pretty good with that pan. So with the pan. So I think for Christmas, I'm going to do that again. My daughters are here, so they have their specialties that they make. My daughter, Brianna, she makes pumpkin cheesecake. And when she started making that for us, we were just like, this girl can bake. So she does some of that baking. So we're going to be looking to have some of her pumpkin cheesecake and any other nicety that she has. So what do you guys like to eat for the holidays? I don't see any comments yet. I see all y'all sharing, but ain't nobody sharing what they're cooking.
You do the same, Dr. Cathy, you do the same, like this is what we did growing up. Like our Thanksgiving meal, like the turkey, the ham, the collard greens, all that stuff, we typically just duplicate it then for Christmas. Do you guys do that, or do you mix up your holiday meal?
Yeah, so generally if we have like turkey for Thanksgiving, then we'll like to do some other kind of meat for Christmas. Like right now we're talking about a fish fry, ironically. My husband makes the best Cajun fried fish on this side. Well, I don't know. There might have to be a fry off between the husbands. We might have to do a fry off between the husbands. But he makes the best Cajun fried fish. And so we're talking about doing that for Christmas. For those of us who, are meat eaters, we do, we may do like a honey baked ham. So depending on, what we've had for Thanksgiving, we'll do the same size, pretty much, candy sweet potatoes. And you guys, I mean, candy sweet potatoes. I know some of y'all listening like, oh, that's COVID-19 pounds. Yeah.
It's once a year.
That's right.
Go all the way in.
It's once a year. I see somebody said my favorite dish is fried fish. I was just talking about you. Go ahead, put that up there. Will you put that up there for us? He makes the best fried chicken, fried chicken. He makes the best fried everything, but fried Cajun fried fish is indeed his specialty. And he makes bomb potato salad. And I wasn't a potato salad eater until I started. So being home for the holidays for us, is so good. I see Lisa says she likes cabbage yams and 7-Up cake, fried chicken, and baked chicken. Come on, girl.
Wow.
I know. So if you have let's see, Gina said, I love to do homemade scalloped potatoes. Gina, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I've had some of your scalloped potatoes in the past, because you be cooking too. So I want you guys, if you have recipes for any of these things, Liz said seafood seafood dressing. Anybody hungry? Anybody glad to be home for the holiday? Anybody hungry for some of this food? Liz, I would love to have some of your seafood dressing. I don't know. You might have to do some of the, you might have to do what Jenny's talking about and do a drive-by, drop some off on the porch. Uber Eats. I think we're going to develop our own CCM Uber Eats group right here. It's so exciting. And I am so excited. So yeah, guys, please put your recipes up if you can. If you get it off of a special place, put it up. Now, I know some of you make stuff and you don't have the recipe. You just kind of pinch it. Who cooks like that? I just put a little this and a little that. I'm gonna be real honest. When I make my baked macaroni and cheese, it comes out excellent all the time. Mayonnaise cake. What is a mayonnaise cake? Whoever had mayonnaise cake, raise your hand. Pastor said mayonnaise. Okay, Pastor, tell us more. We want to know what. Okay, put that. Oh, we want you to put that up on the page. Put that up on the page because that might be a thing, y'all. That might be really a thing.
Okay, well, we just gonna trust and believe.
I can't wait to hear more about it. He hasn't let us on to that yet. So now we go.
That's for Christmas. He's gonna.
That's what he wants. Oh, all right, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna have some mayonnaise cake at the Coleman house this year. And we're gonna put the recipe up for all of you so that you can enjoy some mayonnaise cake. And then I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you what it tastes like. I think Liz is saying, what is she saying? Let's see what we got up here. Red velvet cheesecake.
Yum.
So if you're a red velvet cake eater, I am. I love it. Okay. I bet red velvet cheesecake. It has to be so good. What do you guys think?
Two good things together.
I know. It's like, see, you started this, Jenny. Decadence. Lisa said, "Don't forget sweet potato pie." How? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it in the comments. This is good. How many of you love the sweet potato pie? And how many of you love the pumpkin pie? Let's see it in the comments. Let's see who are the sweet potato pie lovers and who are the pumpkin pie lovers. Let me just go on record.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell what your answer is already.
What's my answer, Jenny?
You a sweet potato pie.
Come here. The doctor loves sweet potato pie, but we got something that goes on in our household. And I wonder if the gentleman is going to be honest. I have somebody in my household who loves the other. So while we're waiting to hear everybody chime in, Jade Brock says collard greens with smoked turkey. Come here, Jade, with the collard greens and smoked turkey. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anybody getting hungry? Anybody glad to be home for the holiday? Sweet potato. We love sweet potatoes. Okay, sweet potato. So it looks like sweet potatoes is winning. Come on, let me see. Liz says sweet potato. That's 3-0.
Yeah.
Sweet potato. Lisa says sweet potato. Uh-oh. Here we go. I see a big comment.
Oh, mayonnaise cake.
All right. Listen, y'all, we on to something. Okay, I'm going to read this because it's worth reading. How to make a mayonnaise cake from scratch. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Grease a 9 by 9 inch baking pan. Whisk the flour, sugar. Okay, you got my attention. Flour, sugar, cocoa powder, and baking soda together in a medium mixed bowl. Add the water, mayonnaise, and I don't know. Every time I hear the mayonnaise, y'all, it's throwing me off. It's throwing anybody else off. But all the other ingredients, we can leave the mayonnaise out the mayonnaise cake. I think that's going to be a good cake. Pour the batter into the prepared baking pan and bake for 25-30 minutes or until toothpick comes out moistly clean. Come on here, Pastor Dwayne. I'll take a mayonnaise cake minus the mayonnaise for Christmas. Thank you.
I bet it's moist. All that mayonnaise, it's moist.
That is so. Listen, I see you, Pastor. Listen, I see you, Pastor. You got your parishioners. They got you, Pastor. They got your back. All right. So mayonnaise cake it is, Alex. we gonna have some mayonnaise cake in the Coleman house, and I promise to come back and tell you how it tasted. If there's any other brave souls that are watching and listening, if you want to have some mayonnaise cake, you want to try it. If you have never tried it, because I haven't, I want you to come to the CCM page, pull that recipe off, try it, and then leave a comment to tell us how it worked out for you. Because
There you
I'm
go.
not sure.
Yes, I think you should have a piece on live.
All right. Oh, I should.
On live.
Oh, I should just do my first taste online. All right, Jenny, it is. And guess what, girl? I'm gonna have you come on over. I might have to do a drive-by for leave you a piece so we can taste it together. Or maybe I'll do you one better. Jenny, you can make a mayonnaise cake too.
All right. Okay. I'll be willing to do it.
So we're gonna come back with the mayonnaise cake taste test, and we will let you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Liz says use mayo in place of eggs.
Oh. So it's the oil and the eggs.
So mayonnaise cake. So we could technically call it an egg cake if we use eggs.
A regular cake.
Regular. That's a regular cake. Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing. I'm so excited for what the holidays are going to bring. And through all of this, tough stuff that's going on, we can still find some laughter in the midst of a difficult thing. Remember, it's both and. So I'm excited. So who's tried mayonnaise cake? I'm just curious. Liz, you talk like you had mayonnaise cake before. Have you had mayonnaise cake before, Liz? Mm-hmm. Make the cake moist. She writing like she's had that.
I think she did it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Liz, have you ever made a mayonnaise cake or have you tasted it? Pam said, yes, Liz. Y'all, yes. Liz is Team Pastor Coleman. All right. We're going to shift gears just because we want to talk now. You know, we've been talking about, let's see. Liz said yes. She put her comment up there. If you would, somebody put her comment up on the screen. She said, make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
A baker. So we're going to give her, hold on. Because she's a baker. So yes. Liz, I would love for you to make a mayonnaise cake as well. And we are going to collectively come on and do a mayonnaise cake taste test. We're going to let you guys know if mayonnaise cake is the truth or if it's like sweet, not sweet potato pie, but pumpkin pie. I didn't see if anybody liked pumpkin pie. Did we get any takers for pumpkin pie on here?
My daughters.
Tell me about that. They love that.
Oh my goodness. It's like such a shame. But they don't like sweet potatoes, period. I can't get sweet potato, which just breaks my heart because it's like my favorite. So my husband and I, we love sweet potato pie. They just want pumpkin. So I found a pumpkin dump cake recipe, right? And I thought, okay, what kind of appease them? But apparently I put so much sugar in it that it tastes like sweet potato cake. That's what it tastes like. So my husband and I, we love it.
We're going to call that, Jenny, we're going to change the name. We're going to call that the pumpkin sweet potato pie.
That's what it is.
The pumpkin sweet potato pie. It's a little bit pumpkin and a little bit sweet potato.
Right.
Sort of like Donnie and Marie, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Exciting. Okay, so we're going to switch gears to giving. So I have a couple questions and we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
And you guys can play along. We can't see your fingers, but Jenny, because you're my guest in the studio audience today, you're my guest in the studio, we're going to have you play along and it's all about the truth, right?
Okay.
All right. So hold your fingers up like this so that they can see you. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
If you have done these things, I'm going to have you put your finger down. We're going to call this naughty or nice.
Okay.
And we have some questions for you around the holiday, specifically around the Christmas holiday. All right. And the basic way this is going to work, everybody, I'm going to do it with you, Jenni.
Okay.
How this is going to work is whoever has the most fingers left at the end of the questions is the winner. You know where this is going?
Yeah.
And the one who has less fingers, they're the one that's on Santa's naughty list this year. Right. Okay. So, and you guys, I want you to play along. If you could comment, you can say, you know, when I ask the question, you can put the number, you know, you can put a number like 1 to 10. So if you've done this just for fun. Okay. All right. Jenni.
Yes.
Have you ever re-gifted a gift? If you have, you're on the naughty list.
I don't want to see gift,
if you've done any of these things I'm saying, you got to take a finger away, okay? Have you ever pretended to like a gift but you really didn't like it?
I'm not going to say what gift either.
We're not going to ask you who gave it to you. That's so funny. Wait, maybe I won't play along with you. Maybe I'll just let you. I think it'll be more fun to see you like this, Jenni. All right, Jenni, have you ever waited to the last minute to buy someone close to you a gift?
Every year.
Have you ever given someone a gift and didn't wrap it?
Oh.
Get them fingers in the screen so we can see. Have you ever purchased a gift for one person and gave it to somebody else?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I just go and I just buy stuff and like, let's just see what happens.
Wait, here I go. No, I think I was like this. I was saying like this, y'all. Jenni, wait, no, I think I'm probably about where you are. So we're going to call it even, okay? I've probably done all of those things. Have you ever forgotten altogether to buy someone a Christmas gift and they got you a gift?
Every year.
Have you ever tried to delay seeing someone at Christmas?
Already done
it. Didn't get them a gift.
Already done it.
Have you ever spent less for a gift for someone and they spent more for a gift for you?
Yeah, my poor husband.
I think we're both losing. We're terrible. I think we might as well call this a wash. I think we're both on the naughty list. Let's see what our listeners. No, but come on, you guys. Really? Nobody else has done these things?
Really? Oh.
Have you ever bought something to eat and said you made it for the holidays? Have you ever purchased?
Oh, that's a hard maybe.
Uh-oh. Okay, you can leave yours up.
I usually tell myself, like, I didn't make this. So I don't know.
Well, we pass it off as.
Right. I may as well.
We pass it off. And the last but not least is, have you ever had someone give you a fruitcake for Christmas? Yes. And you threw it away.
Thank you.
We are not the nicest for Christmas, but we are home for the holiday, and that is what makes it all good. Woo! It looks like, can you put up some of the answers for others on the side, if there are any, so we can laugh at them and stop laughing at ourselves? Oh, we got ourselves a nice one. So it looks like Liz won the game because she still has 4 fingers up. Anybody have more than 4 fingers up? If you do, comment in the comments. Let me see. Lisa.
Oh, thanks. Oh,
wow. Lisa still has 6 fingers up. She's really nice.
She's really nice.
She is really nice. Not so much for us.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna try. Listen, Jenni, we're gonna try to get off the naughty list for next year. So when we're doing this next year, we'll have all 10 up. How about that?
Yes.
Anybody have more than 6 fingers left? If you do, go ahead and put it in the comment. Oh, that's so funny. All right, looks like Lisa and Liz. Lisa, you are the winner because you have 6 fingers up. So we will have a gift for you. And Liz, simply for being brave enough to tell us that you have 4 fingers up, we'd like to offer you a special gift from CCM as well. So I know that we have your postable and we have other gifts that already belong to you. So we'll make sure you get all of your gifts. We promise we have stuff for you, right? All right, guys, you are amazing. And we do want to share a little bit about CCM. And CCM is a nonprofit organization. Really, our mission is very simple. Our mission is to really be a philanthropic organization that supports initiatives around the globe. We want to be the answer for the many who are struggling in so many ways, right? So we provide, not only do we want to continue to provide food and things that people don't have access to, but we want to educate our constituents, people who are listening and people who are part of our organization. We want to train people to get out in the world and make a difference. And so we want you to be watching for all of the things that are coming with this ministry work. And we hope that you will take time to become a part. We are always looking for volunteers. We're so excited about the work of the Lord and the things that he, really has designed for us to do. But bidding hands make work light. And so we want to offer anyone who's interested in becoming a part of our organization. We are just getting started and we are so excited about what the future holds. And we hope that you will join in on the mission of really helping and supporting people around the globe. Well, more to come. We'll have more information. I also want to take a moment to thank the team that works behind the scenes to make sure that our lives go off without a hitch. And we have a person who manages all of this, single-handedly. It feels like she does. She organizes all the guests and really helps CCM so that we can really thrive. And Jana, I know that you're right here listening. I know that you are always making sure that we are, that our live just happens and that it does with excellence. And so thank you. And we have a Christmas gift for you as well. So we hope that you know. And guess what, Jana? We're going to let you choose your own gift. I wish you put that in the comments. That Jana, tell us what you're going to do with that gift. That's so funny. But we're really excited for where we're going in this ministry, and for all of you who are looking for.
That I knew it.
I know, right, Jenni? See, this is what's gonna happen. She's gonna give. She said it just help. She just loves to give, so she's gonna get the gift, and that keeps on giving. Because she knows what she's getting, you guys. And she's already taken that gift and regifted. But Jana, whatever you do with it, it's yours to give. And we're just so thankful to have you. And we appreciate everything you do behind the scenes every single time to make sure that we are doing this and putting our ministry out for those who are listening. Jenni, let's talk before we're getting ready to wrap up here soon. And we want to talk about before we move to you, Jenni, because I want to say this, but for those of you who don't know, we have been engaged in some food drives, and our church, our ministry, Agape has been very instrumental in feeding a lot of people. And so what we want to do is just continue to partner with, ministries. CCM wants to continue to partner with ministries to make sure that people are fed. And so I want to remind those of you who may not know, tell those of you who may not know, and remind those of you who know that this Monday we will be partnering again with Agape and some of the other ministries, and there will be a food distribution in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Agape did one in Gettysburg just a couple weeks ago, and we will be doing one in Carlisle. And if you know anyone who is in need of food for the holidays, we are partnered with some amazing people, and there's food available. So if you know anyone that needs food, we can get the information for the food drive that's coming up on Monday so that you can send them by, or if you come by, you're welcome to get food for them and take boxes to people in your neighborhood. So if you have a truck and you want to come by and take several boxes and take it out and spread the love, we don't mind at all. So I just wanted to make sure I put a plug in for Agape and what Pastor Dwayne and Agape Church, what we're doing as a ministry, but also CCM's partnership. And we're going to see more of that as we move forward. So just wanted to put a plug in there. So Jenni, we're going to wrap up here soon, but we want to, just see if we can get some, insight from you. We've got people from all walks of life watching and listening. During the holidays, again, we talked about how sometimes it's difficult, and we all have our traditions. We talked a lot about the food traditions and, celebrating and gift giving. But what scripture or, Bible passage would you share, or could you share with our listeners that might, need to be encouraged through the holiday? What is your favorite Bible passage that you can share with us? And we're going to allow our, those who are watching to share theirs, but I'd like to have you share yours if you could.
So my life verse is Galatians 6:9, and it says, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap a harvest if you faint not. And that has been the verse that has sustained me through some extremely difficult times, extremely dark, lonely, isolating times in my life. Because my natural tendency is to run. I want to avoid the pain. I want to avoid the trial. So if I just lay in bed all day and run away from it, I somehow think that's going to get me through it. And God had to challenge me and say, stop running, stand still, watch me work. And so I had to remember to just do not stop doing the good that God has called me to do. And whatever it is, every individual, God has created you to do some type of good work, to bless someone else, not for your own selves, but to bless someone else. And if we continue to be committed to not giving up on the good work God wants us to do, it will lift us out of those pits, out of those trials and troubles and struggles. So that way we're no longer focusing on what we don't have, but we can focus on how we're able to bless and to give to someone else. We get busy and sometimes tunnel vision, and we can't see there are so many people struggling around us, far worse off than what we are. And if we're willing to be alert to life and to continue to press in, we can bless them and just give God glory through what we're doing. So just don't give up. Don't become weary. Don't faint. This too shall pass, and just keep doing the good stuff.
I love it. I mean, I felt every word. And I'm sure that there's somebody listening who may have been feeling like giving up, or may just have been feeling down, and we're all talking about the holiday, and they may not have felt like the holiday was any big to do. But now hearing what you've just articulated, I tell you, I felt that. And I really appreciate the admonishment, the encouragement of not giving up. Sometimes you're absolutely right. Things can get, things get tough. and especially in times like we're living in. But if we can just hold on to the truth of God's word, and that's why I wanted to find out what your, staple, scripture is. And I know some of us have more than one, but I know that we should have at least one word that when we have our backs against a wall and when we're feeling lonely and we're feeling, marginalized and isolated, that we can go to that space, that word, and find rest, right? And find strength so that we can continue on. So I'd love for you guys that are commenting, please give us your scripture on the sideline. Please put in the comments, and we would love to hear more. Maybe you're listening and something that was said really blessed you. We'd love to hear your comments, even beyond this live. You can feel free to comment and share if you've been, touched or blessed by this. Ask your questions, and we have someone that goes back into the lives and looks and reads comments and still continues to answer questions even after the live is over. And so please just put your scriptures on the side that might help someone. And Jenni, if you would just say the actual scripture again, so that somebody who may not have gotten it will get it.
Galatians 6:9, chapter 6.
So for those of you who need a little bit more strength, who need a little bit more encouragement, go to Galatians 6 and read that. The other thing is, all of you, our theme for CCM, our scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. And is that because there are times where, it feels like things aren't going so great, right? But when you know that God's plan for you is to prosper you and not to harm you, when you're in the middle of feeling like this thing hurts, it's so bad, you can look to God knowing that even in those places and spaces that God intends to prosper and not harm you. So if you're going through a rough holiday season and you're feeling sad and overwhelmed and alone and all of those things, please know that God's plan for you is not to isolate you and not to keep you or make you feel like you're out, but to bring you in. And the way that happens is when you draw near to him. And so maybe one of these scriptures will help you to draw near to God. And then his promise is that he will draw near to you. And so we hope that something that happens during this program will encourage you, will lift you, will put a smile on your face, where you will know that there is, a sense of community and that you are a part of our tribe. And we are so excited about that. Pastor Dwayne says my favorite scripture is Philippians 4, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. I love that. Absolutely. And that always is always, right? That's right. Even when there are things that feel like I can't rejoice in this, right? And I always like to say we rejoice in the Lord in spite of, not because. So when we lose a loved one, it's not because we've lost a loved one, but it's in spite of the fact that we've lost a loved one. So rejoice in the Lord always. And again, the command is, right, to rejoice. So for those of you finding it difficult to rejoice today, we hope that we've given you something today that you can rejoice in. And we hope that we are changing the world with our words in Jesus. All right, Lisa says something. Let's see if we can get hers up on. It says, my best one is Psalm 91, 1 and 3. And we all know Psalm 91. I was just quoting that was that this morning? He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is, you guys know that the Lord is the one who helps. So thank you so much for that, Lisa. Liz says 1 John 4:4. Yes, greater is he who is in me. Somebody say in me, right? Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So no matter what's happening, these are all amazing, right? And don't you feel the light that comes with that? Just knowing that when you embrace God's word. Maybe you're watching and you're not a believer. Maybe, something has happened in life and you've turned from God because you've been hurt and broken down in life to the point where you felt like God doesn't care. Or maybe you've never known Jesus in the pardons of your sin. We are here to help you. The prayer line will be open long after this program is over. You can dial the number that you see scrolling across your screen, and we will pray for you. We'd love to help you heal. We'd love at CCM to help you heal. We'd love to find a way to help you. And we know that prayer changes things. So please, feel free to reach out to us. Someone is standing by and will be standing by to receive your call and to pray with you. We see that there's another comment on the comment board. Pastor Dwayne says, wow, this was great, Dr. Cathy and Esquire. Jenni, you guys started out with grief and then fun and then back to giving people comfort and hope in these tough times. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor, for your wonderful comment. And this was all about being home for the holidays. And don't we experience all of these things? We experience the good and the bad, but we still stand because our God loves us and cares deeply for us. So let's see if there are any other comments, questions. You are welcome to make them at this time. We do have a few more minutes before our broadcast ends. So if you have any other questions, Jenni, I'd like to just turn it over to you and ask if you have anything that you'd like to share, because we do have a little bit more time.
Sure. Well, I have a question for you,
Okay.
Dr. Cathy. So, I love just the interaction between you and Pastor Dwayne. It is super cute. I love that.
Thank you. The love of my life.
So during the pandemic, from my work side, I don't do family law, but I have colleagues who do. And so unfortunately, their business was booming during the pandemic when families were together, like marriages splitting up. So what do you guys do to keep your marriage fresh during the pandemic? Are there date nights that you still do? Like, how do you guys just kind of keep rocking and rolling?
Yeah, honey, because we are home for the holiday. And yes, we do. So my husband and I, for many years, all of our children are grown, young adults. They're, our youngest is finishing college. She's a senior this year. But from the time they were little, we committed ourselves to really learning and growing together. Now, let me just say for the record, guys, like, marriage is what it is, right? There's ups, there's downs, there's all kinds of in-betweens, and there's no perfect scenario. But what we've learned over time is forgiveness and togetherness, right? So being able to quickly forgive and to find ways to bring ourselves together. And one of the ways that we've done that is through regular date nights. And we've kept our date nights, even though we don't go out anymore like we used to for date night. We have found ways to engage in date night right here in the home. So we will, each of us takes turns deciding who's going to, decide what we have, whether it's we cook or order food. We make sure that we are maintaining our date night. We spend a lot of time talking, we spend a lot of time talking about, what's happening. I think for a lot of couples, right now, it's difficult because you're working from home if you're working, or maybe you've lost your job and your spouse has, lost their job, or maybe there's some other things that are going on. I think the most important thing is during this time, what we've learned is there's nothing more than the relationships that we have, right? To life. Because things can change on a dime, as we've seen, right? So what we do is we just really spend a lot of time getting to know each other. We spend a lot of time laughing together and laughing at each other and and laughing at ourselves in front of each other. And we just learn to love in spite of. And I think that is the key that has kept us. And we've been married a really long time. We're pushing on on 30 years in another couple of years. So we're really excited about getting through the things that we've gone through so that when we're home for the holiday, our hearts can truly be at home, right?
That's good. That's
good. So
communication is so important. And I think that's an important component of it because it is a skill. Communication is a skill. And so we only improve our skills by practicing. So I
That's right.
think it's awesome. That's great.
Yes. And I don't know if Pastor Dwayne is here, but I'd love for you to come and just say hi to my guests on CCM Live if you're still here. Let's see. Love covers a multitude of faults. Come here, Pastor. Come here. Do you see? Yeah, put that up there. That was his comment, right? And it's so true. Because there's no perfect human.
Nope.
Right? And when two people are merging worlds, that's what marriage is, right? You come in together and you marry your worlds, right? Yeah. There is no perfect person, right? But we can be perfecting in our relationship. And this love right here, I'm putting him on the spot. There he is. This is the love of me live. This is him. This is Pastor. And I'm so thankful that we have been through all of the things that we've been through in life. And only God has caused us to continue to love unconditionally. So for those of you who are married, who are watching this is a home for the holiday bonus right now.
Yes.
Know that your spouse is God's perfect provision for you. If you are a believer in Christ Jesus and God has given you a spouse, they are God's perfect provision, not perfect people. I'm not perfect. And if it had not been for the Lord on my side, honey, what do you say?
Just want to say hi, y'all. What we got to remember too is I didn't put any period. I put a question mark at the end of the and that's the way life is. You allow God to finish it. If you allow him to finish it, you'll be okay. So that's words of wisdom.
Yes. So love covers a multitude of stuff. That's my answer. How about we do this? We got a couple more minutes before we have to say farewell. In the comments, y'all, love covers a multitude of, go ahead and fill in the blank. What do you say? Covers a multitude of, I said, stuff. Lord knows.
Yes.
Lord knows.
Oh, it covers dirty socks on the floor. It
covers, come on.
It covers the cat.
Toilet seats put down in the middle of the night.
It covers all that.
What else, Jenny?
It covers laundry. It covers, sidewalks being shoveled and gas in the car. Someone eating the last Oreo. It covers all that.
Yes, it does. And it covers those words that you say that you know you don't really mean, but you're just angry and you don't know how to process your feelings. So you just said it. And now you regret it.
Oh, yeah. It covers
that.
Fatigue. It covers quarantine fatigue. It covers the quarantine 15, 20, 25. It covers.
Come on, girl. Wait. 25, 35, 45.
50.
Y'all know those pounds y'all picked up. Yes, it covers. Yes, I love it. I love it. Pastor Jeanette said forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is the key. We have said when we've presented marriage seminars in the past, we have said you either want to be right, or you want to be married. You're not going to be both. If you are insistent upon being right, you will not last, because if I'm always right, which I am, but I won't tell him. If I'm always right, then no. None of us are always right, right? We mess up and we make mistakes, but love covers. I love that. And forgiveness, as Pastor Jeanette has said, it really does really make a difference. And you just have to know that God, the same forgiveness that we want from God is the same forgiveness we have to give our spouses, and that they have to give us if we're gonna stay married. I love little Jada is texting. She's in our comments, and I don't want to ignore her. She's using her daddy's Facebook password, and she said, "I love you." Hi, Jada. We love you too, and we're so glad that you are here. And that's my goddaughter. And we love you to pieces. And I'm so happy that you're listening. Love covers. So be nice to your brother. Okay. All right. And it looks like Lisa said it keeps going on and on nonstop. Love. That's right. Love continues on and on. Well, lovelies, we love you. And we are so thankful. Thank you, honey, that you have taken the time to spend your time with us on this Saturday morning. We know you could be anywhere else, especially with the holidays that is upon us, but you have decided to share some of your time with us. We thank you. Oh my goodness, Jenni Esquire, I want you to know that I think that we both think that we need to have conversations off the grid so we can talk about what God is doing. So I'm so excited to have you. You've been an amazing, amazing guest. And again, I look forward to our sisterhood. And let me just say this. I remember when you came to the church to give me singing lessons. You're just so giving. And what you gave us today is priceless. And let me just tell you, I'm godly proud of you for all the accomplishments that you have. I look forward to being in your corner, cheering you on even further as you continue in private practice. And for those that are listening, I hope that you will receive the encouragement that Jenni brings today and just choose to hang on to the positive. We all need it. And we promise at CCM to bring you positivity and goodness that will enhance your life. And it's a really good place to start. So thank you so much. Derek said, love covers all. Thank you, Pastor Jeanette Long. Derek said, love covers all. Yes. And tell Derek we absolutely agree. Love covers all. That's why none of us should have any enemies. We should not have any problems with anybody. Even if they have a problem with you, you should not have a problem with them because love covers all. So we will be back at you. And I promise Jenni's coming back.
Yay, thank you. I'd love to.
I can't wait. And we're going to have some more for you. I do want to talk more about this love relationship thing, Jenni. So we're going to talk more about this. And I look forward to seeing each of you. Remember, if you need prayer, please don't hesitate to call us. Our operators are standing by to take your prayers and your prayer requests. We love each of you. And on behalf of CCM and Cathy Coleman Ministries, me, the coach, doctor.com, I wish you a very, very, very happy holiday. And so thankful that you are safe and warm and home for the holiday. So thank you, Jenni. And we will see you guys really, really soon. Jenni, you want to say bye to our viewers?
Bye. Thank you, guys. Happy holidays to you all. God bless you.
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.